Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I want to say thank you, guys, and welcome to the new subscribers. Uh, Today we are having another great questions. I think that was if I properly pronounce it, Pakanditara. I want to say thank you. You're doing a very good questions. And you made a very good comment that about this video, and I think that a lot of the people are going to be benefit from this. Why my previous connection cannot manifest in 3D, like it's only in 5D. Very, very powerful, very powerful. We're gonna read the whole comment from the YouTube because um, there is this questions about why all of a sudden I have this soul connection and the energy is there in a 5D. It exists, it is beautiful, but it doesn't resonate within the 3D. It doesn't manifest in the 3D. It doesn't happen. And why the heck I'm gonna be having all these situations? I'm gonna be reading the whole because we cannot put the whole thing as a title. It is too long in there. But again, the Kanditara, thank you so much. The credit goes towards you. So the whole thing. Why my previous connection cannot be manifest in 3D like it's only 5D telepathy and stuff, but this new connection it's like manifest in real time. Like example, I saw their name later, like in 5 minutes, they pop up. Should I go to the past and continue with the existing one? Can you do the video explaining, please? The universe said the past one, it's the original twin, but the new one, it is the replacement. And that's what we are going to be talking about because we've been through this personally, both of us. And we know how it is. We're speaking out of from experience. You guys have any questions? Please come to the chat. Okay, chat is open. It is for that purpose. All right. So without other ado, I'm gonna give you Paulina. Oh, baby, take the.
Thank you. Oh, there's gonna be few things probably we're gonna be discussing. The first thing that comes to me is acceptance. Always acceptance of what the universe has to tell you. And I believe after a certain level of understanding how the journey works, you get humble enough to actually listen what the universe, what the intuition tries to tell you with regards to your journey. So probably the first thing that since Banditra, she just received a message that is a little bit like contradicting maybe with the current understanding. That can be the sign that the message is really relevant for the journey. So that's a good example of how we should be open to receive something that we may not fully comprehend yet, and just explore it, not deny it, say, oh, it's not valid according to what I believe, what I know, and what other people are teaching and repeating. This is very good sign for you to maybe get a bit more sense of understanding how the journey really works, because no, you're not blocking it, you're not rejecting it, it's you still try to see why I think about someone else, but then someone else comes to mind. And what I believe we're going to be touching here is this multidimensionality of the experience itself, because there are certain limits that you can explain this journey from this human understanding. You expect your twin flame to be like a physical person, one dedicated physical person. And once you will start getting those informations and you will see the parallels into what you're going experiencing in 5D, let's say, and in 3D, and those experiences are not matching the same vision or the same person, that's when it gets confusing. So I think this is also a good sign in terms of progressing on the journey. And that's even from this general sense. If you begin to sense the parallels between your higher dimensions and information and 3D, maybe not like one to one, because maybe this is not exactly the same people, but you see these patterns, this is a really good sign that you're kind of aligning. It will be just asking you to expand a little bit into understanding what do you believe about this connection and experience itself. That's just the introduction for me. I don't want to go any deeper than that from now. For now.
Um, I'm gonna be giving you a kind of like a tips in there. Why did the universe? I'm gonna be starting with because you should have put in the beginning of the way you write it. Should have put in that you have another soul connections, and the universe told you it's a replacement, and then the following questions that it's coming in there. When are you talking? Why did the heck the universe does this? Then I'm gonna be giving you a little bit of heads up in there of you to understand what is that process goes on as far as a journey. Because it's in a timeline, if when you have a connection, if that connection cannot, because you have to pass it to people, okay? If the one person is just says no, I don't want to, and so on, but by the universe, you're supposed to be traveling with somebody. Okay, you need to be with a couple. You need to have the experience as a couple. That's what that energy of the replacement is coming through you. So you're gonna be seeing it. I'm gonna be explaining more about this. But you see the difference between the 3D and the 5D in there, that we are trying to, when you get these ignitions, when you have these energies, when you get this telepathy, when everything begins to work and change the consciousness and the belief system, because right now you have total different, you change your belief system, you are awakening. Everything inside of you is like you are like this hot bubbling water of awakening. It's just like you breathing new life, you breathing the different energies. Now this new connections manifest in the, you ask him why it's manifesting. It will manifest for a lot of purposes in there, because that energy, even in the 90% of the time of the cases, that energy, okay, cannot match the original twin in there. That energy is going to be a little bit more stronger. And let me explain why. So when you're supposed to move forward, but that twin flame come back, you missed certain things in there to move forward. So what happens is the universe brings you another connections that it's right in here. It's connecting you, and that connections, it puts you back in the timeline or whatever it is. You're gonna feel this intense energies like working it together. You're gonna be feeling this intensity, those progress that you're going to be making. It all of a sudden is going to happen just like that. Things that are not working out with the original one, all of a sudden they begin to work, and they work what? Flawlessly. Okay, until you two have to face the journey together, the things within the journey. This is what happens with some of the people that they drop off, and then there is another one, drop off, there is another one in there, until you realize, like, oh my God, I don't have to drop off anymore, because every time I drop off, I'm losing all this. Now I decided to stick with this and go with it because I'm tired of it. Then you're gonna be handling in this, but you're gonna feel this in there. The reason it's not manifesting in the 3D, it is because for some way, somehow, something you may not realizing, maybe the universe has know something that you don't know in there, that all of a sudden that original one just dissolved. You're going to feel the intense energy. You're going to feel this. You're going to believe in that energy. You are going to be going out until you purge it out. It's going to take you some long time. Okay. Even the memories of that connections, they're going to stay with you together for a whole life. Yeah, this is not like energy you can just like, okay. But the experience that you need to have, the evolutions that you need to have, that is going to be pulling you forward. It's going to be helping you to overcome this. But the reasons that it's not manifest, there can be so many. From a personal issues between you two, from a lack of communications between you two, and something that the universe sees that this cannot progress. The one has to go, the other has to continue with somebody else. So this is in there. The telepathy and stuff you're going to have with the new connection could be even stronger, because it's catapulting you. It's acting as a catalyst in there. And when you have that second connections, you're like, beginning to wonder at some point, who was my real twin? That one or that one? This one, it's more stronger. That one did not work out in a this, and this. This one naturally is working on this, and this. What the heck is going on? And I'm not going out of my mind. It's supposed to be only one twin flame. And then when you go to a second connection season there, you're wondering what's going on with your mind uh, too. I mean, Shirley MacLaine stated that in her books, Dancing in the Light and Dancing in the Darkness. She has two books that she went through this spiritual soul connections in there. There are two books, Dancing in the Light and Dancing in the Darkness in there. But you're gonna be able, if you get through those books, uh, particularly people, if you guys watching the videos, you can see it in there to it. So back to you, baby.
Mhm. I think we should discuss a little bit like aligning to your highest, let's call it timeline. Because I think what it's like running understanding or current understanding in the community is being with your original twin flame or the person that you believe to be your twin flame who got you ignited and ultimately getting together in 3D. It's like it's according to your highest timeline that you can achieve here as a being. While I think the way I understand it is you can still go further with your journey, and I would even take a risk and say you can do more and you can advance more if you choose the scenario or life path in which you are not with your original twin flame. Because in order to do that, you really need to be able to detach emotionally from the experience because it's a big test for you as a being, as a human here, that you can see what you truly deserve and you're able to even disconnect emotionally from something that it's a very strong connection for those ignitions that we have, but it almost feels like there are some certain cases that for us to progress further and choose this highest timeline, we simply cannot be with our original one just because the dynamic itself in the first place, it was very immature. So probably most of those cases when, for example, separations are happening, we are very immature, we are making mistakes, we are just not responsible for ourselves, for our actions, and there are consequences of that. And the only way to really learn it as a lesson is to embrace those consequences. And some of those consequences is like if there is wrong time or there are two people who are not prepared to build a healthy relationship, this relationship will fall apart. And what you have to do is just accept that and just move on. Because there was one more thing I wanted to say. Um, oh, because remember, you, we never can understand this whole spectrum if we're gonna be looking from the space of human understanding. So if you will really be thinking and wondering, was my twin real, false, and all this catalyst, this is all our mind stuff. But in background, what's going on is like those energies who are orchestrating those experiences, they really don't care who you have next to you. That's why I believe we're gonna be getting those replacements. Like it's just the energy really wants to flow. And if they see the potential in you, they're gonna be collaborating. You will yourself will be attracting another person who will be able to help you to get together to this field again. And I know it gets confusing because still, as Dio said, this is like a memory. It gets stuck. The whole story of ignition and this first catalytic experiences, they will be staying for a purpose. Because many people, the way I understand, they try to get rid of it. They try to like almost like erase memory, and they are asking about those cord cuttings, and I wonder like why would you do that? You know, why cannot you just trust it as a treat it as a part of your story that brought you to this point, and that's gonna be showing you the consequences of your actions, what can happen if you really don't take relationships seriously and you don't work on yourself, and the next time it comes around you see the potential and you see bigger value. So it's almost like those energies really wants to teach you to treat all the connections that are coming your way with this respect and just see the value in them, because you may lose them. And that's, even if those catalytic experiences are for you just to learn this lesson that you may lose people, that's, I think this is a very precious lesson, but you need to accept that also. So that was coming to me, just to really understand that it's up to you how you begin to see those connections, but at the core, remember that there is this big picture that really doesn't care that much about our 3D expressions here. In the same way as Dio is a replacement of the other connection I had, I'm a replacement of any other connection that he had. But we reach the point in which we see it's not the same, because it's never the same. Everyone is different here, but we are the ones who are deciding to work on that together. And we don't second guess things. We are solving those issues together. And do we have memories about other people? Yes, we have, because we treat them as more like examples. Why these stories are repeating, what do we do with that? So hopefully it clarifies a little bit.
Great point, darling. We've been through a lot. I'm actually happy of sharing this particular experience in there. But you are going to go through this experience, and later on, when I was evolving as a twin flame, why did the disconnection comes in? And it says like this connection is only can take you that far, Leo. They cannot take you. You're supposed to teaching. You're supposed to understand. This person does not want to be there. That person was too involved. That whatever the situation and the case is, you are not responsible for your connections with them, as far as how they see your connections with you. Okay, you're not responsible for that. You're responsible for yourself. You need to reevaluate yourself, because when a new connection comes in, as that replacement is going to come in, they're going to be triggering things that you understood within yourself and there about that connection. Are you in that level? Are you in that position? They're going to say, okay, let's go walk. Let's go walk in a journey together, right? And you're going to be wondering about it. Are you going to be going to the journey, or are you going to be going back? This internal fight in there, you're going to be having quite often within you, okay? Because that ignition state that it was, it's too hard. You can see the names either from the replacement or from the original ones. You're gonna have to go through this inner battle until, as Paulina said, you are gonna be looking and understand your twin flames experience of walking together is more important to somebody who does not want to walk with you. They don't want to walk with you. Universe is clear. It says like here, this is the original one, but that's here is that replacement. And when you hear that, a lot of the people don't want to hear that. A lot of the people, they want to be going and stuck to only to the one twin flame. Even that, what was it, darling? That was like a week ago or something, or a few days back. Somebody in the group, in the I am twin flame group, said like why there is only a very limited or very small amount of unions within 3D. Well, you hanging out into to a person who does not want to work with you in the 3D, hands down, right there, because of not understanding the journey and evolve within this. So if the universe bring you somebody else, the universe bring you some other connection, okay? Don't be right away off the bat. It's like, yeah, I got another twin flame. Let's go. Ah, who, yeah. No, take your time to understand what is this connections is coming to you. Have you processing the things that you had to process within yourself about your past connection? Did you process the emotions, the energies, the anger, the aggravations, the situations that it's within you? Have you processed them about that? Because you don't want to repeat yourself within the new connection. Okay? And it's going to be testing you. The same situations, the same reasons that your original connection failed, They're going to be triggered within the new because the new says, I want to see it. Have you processed it? Have you evolved? Have you grown in there? Have you matured? Can you handle it, the new higher levels with me? Because if you haven't processed this, this, and this, what am I supposed to do with this? Right? So now, when this thing's coming up as a replacement shows up, and you hear it loud and clear from the universe in there, you have to be on that state of positions. If you need time, take your time. It's like, you know what, give me a little time because I have to process what is going on here. I have to take the time in there. I don't want to jump into conclusions. I want to wait for the verifications. I want to wait for the universe. I want to wait for this and that and so on. And there, actually, you taking your time to process this. Are you going to be? And then when you choose the connection, you're getting into that connection, the connection is going to be start going forward. You're going to be start walking together within the path of the twin flame in there. Don't thinking about it that right away when you have the relationship with that replacement, that you are together and so on, you reached out union. Okay, union, it's much higher, little different state that you're going to be learning down in a path. Okay, you're going to be practicing walking together. Oh, we're facing this problem. How are we going to solve it? We're facing this problem. How are you going to be together? You're going to be learning this because the journey is going to be before you get into that union. Let me see. Let me see. Are you guys going to be taking the things properly? Are you going to be evolved in there? Okay. So, do you have to let it go of the past? You have to let it go of the past. The universe brings you another cup, but your hand is full. You need to let it go to grab the new cup. That's how it goes with this. And some other people, when they come to me, they're kind of like a blocked. I remember so many years when I was talking about this, they were like, no, 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 I have only one twin flame, but I have this other soul connection. No, 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 I have only one twin flame. And then they block in there. And they stuck and they're waiting for that original twin flame to come back in there. They may come, they may not. You're never gonna know about it. But if the universe comes in, it says like loud and clear, hey, we're taking this out because he's not gonna do what is supposed to be done because you are in this journey, you are important, you have to be at this present moment of time. And that kind of like a level of evolution, we're gonna send somebody who's gonna pull you up because he cannot be with somebody else. And you're gonna see how the universe is gonna start organizing this. Okay, because the purpose of this is the twin flames journey to evolve and be an example. That's what the universe is carrying for its own mission, and you're part of this mission. You're the tool. And some other people, they don't realize this. The only thing that the people want is, dear, can you tell me when I'm gonna be with my twin? Tell me that I am going to be with them. What kind of confirmations you want, isn't that? And this is what you need to understand. It is about, are you the twin flame deserving, ready, evolve to be at that space and time within a timeline together with the universe? And that's what you have to worry about it right there. If you have a delay, so you have something is not processed properly, something isn't moved in there. So you're gonna see how the things are with yourself. So if the journey was delayed, the universe says like here, it's another replacement for you. Okay. So it happened to quite a few people. Okay, it happened to quite a few people. But those people, they're experiencing what you want as a 3D union. Okay, while the other people hanging out and down in the bottom, they didn't evolve. They're this pile of people who understand they are awakened, but there is nothing to do about it, pretty much. And they are recycling same experience over and over and over. And that looping, as I call it, in there, that looping doesn't evolve. You're going around circles, and this is why the universe says like, Let me take you out of orbit. Let me put you in another place. Let me show you that it's not only that orbit there. Back to
Yeah,
you,
I
darling.
wanted to get back. Yeah, I wanted to get back to the topic a little bit.
Mhm.
Was the person asked why my previous connection can't manifest in 3D? And I would say, what if it actually manifests right now, but it just because how you realized before, you think it's supposed to manifest certain way, meaning this original person has to manifest and come back to your life, and that's gonna be the ultimate manifestation or your twin flame experience, while it may not be the case. The only issue I see when we talk about this stuff is when you try to match 5D energies, 3D energies, and specific body. While I think we forget that 5D is a little bit more like a gray area. It's not within, it doesn't stay within one person. Yes, we have higher selves, but we are part of something bigger here that is very interconnected. And it gets messy there. It gets a lot of different vibrations in there, and it's more from the space of oneness. So really, you are not sure who's sending those telepathic messages. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's 5D field that's generating some messages that you just translate into and associate with certain body, certain person, because that's what you believe. But in reality, there is no way to find out. So that's really, it helps to get a little bit of different understandings, because it's that the only thing you have to know about those 5D energies and messages is they are giving you the guidance. They are showing you what you have to know at this current moment. But I would really advise, don't put any labels, don't put any masks, don't put any boxes into those energies. Like try not to label the 5D information that you're getting, because it's very easy to get kind of blindsided because you think, oh, that's what it means. Well, no, it just comes for you, and that's why you will be seeing the name of your twin, for example, not for you to hold on to that person, but just kind of appreciate the experience and just acknowledge that, and know that this guidance is still with you. But just remembering that this 5D, it's a way bigger field than associating with that specific person that ignited you in the first place. And I believe that can also explain why do we manifest those replacements, because at this present moment the original person would not be able to hold those vibrations, so you need someone who is more advanced in 3D to kind of embrace those 5D energies, but it's still the same stream. So I hope some people are getting it from this perspective, because it really takes a lot of load from what we believe, how it should manifest. And really, if someone tells me that it doesn't manifest in 3D, it's like, no, it manifests, but not as you understood originally. Try to think bigger, because anything that it's manifesting right now, it's connected to those higher energies, what happens up there. So,
Very good point. I'm going to be talking about a little bit about potential. You're going to be going through this in there. I'm going to explain why. When you have this energy and 5D, as Paulina was talking, you send all that love. You send all these positive energies. You give all this in there, and the universe says like, "Why are you wasting your energy? That doesn't work. Why are you doing this to yourself?" It's gonna be a one point of time when you're just gonna be kind of like a stop doing this, okay? Because the universe wants to put that energies back into you, in the form of a self-love. Okay, you're sending this energy in a 5D, this love, as Paulina said, when you receive a messages back, where is those messages are coming from? Because sometimes you get in a messages in 5D, that telepathy in there, you get into those messages, but all of a sudden they don't have match anything within the 3D. And you're like, oops, what's going on? And this is what happens is this oneness in there, this energy is this kind of like a gray area of this things. all of a sudden it's going to be like the universe is going to tell you, stop sending this energy, stop doing it to this, because you have a higher potential. And that's what I want to point out to it. You have a higher potential. You're not here to this and that. Hold on to this person. You hold on. There is a pain, and you're sending so much love, time, and energy. While you have a different potential, you gotta be ready for that potential. And your potential as a twin flame is gonna come up and rise up. I hope for some of the people it doesn't come back. Some of the people they like to stay into the drama and the trauma and then all this, and they're talking about this experience about in there. Some of the people move on with another person in there, and so. But when the universe sends you another twin flame experiences or replacements, that is mean only one thing: you're on the right track to move forward. They see your potential, and this is the one thing that some of the people don't realize. Even though people who has been in the journey for a while, they when they open it up again, the universe right away. You have to stay open, okay? Open. You're in the journey. You're open because the moment you're close yourself down, you shut yourself down. Guess what? You're not allowing energies to walk in towards you. Even if you see the greatest twin flame experience person that is going to be with you walking in that journey, you can see them on the street, you can feel the energies, you can do, you're not open. And the universe says, no, it cannot happen like that way. So the universe is constantly rearranging the arena, okay? So when the universe comes in, it says like, this is what is in there. Like here's your replacement. You have to be thinking about a lot more deeper than that. Take your time. Don't be on this like horse out of the stable, just okay. Um, but it's gonna be required as you set in there. Should I let go of the past one and continue with the existing one? Okay, that part of let go and continue, it lies within you. You have to make the choice. Okay, because later on you will find out why did you make that choice. One is going to leading to repeating the past experience that nothing's going on. The other one is going to bring a new experience that you're going to be getting and working on your potential, moving. Okay, so with that potentiality in there is going to be leading of how you're going to be working it out that relationship down forward. What are you going to do if you're repeating the same thing from the past experiences in there, if you have processes in there, you're going to be repeating again certain things, and you're going to probably going to make the same mistakes. You're going to be looking at with these issues, they're going to rise up. But the moment you stop in there, there's going to be some higher challenges. And one thing you're going to know about it, if you think everything goes, is when you spiritually evolve, despite all the 3D challenges in there. That is going to be kind of like the good thing when you start seeing it within this new soul connections as replacement that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to say in there. Uh, why did the universe says the past? Okay. See, when the universe says it's past, that's mean that for the universe is already done deal. But your level of acceptance on this, it's gonna be required. You might gonna feel heavy, you might gonna feel like this and so on in there. But with that, you have to be a very diligent in that because you let it go in there and allow the universe to help you and heals you. When the universe leads you forward, when the universe is talking to you, they are knowing things. They understand where you come from, where you've been, everything about you, even the things you don't know about yourself, because everything is in the universe out there. But your way of letting it go in there, it should be like, okay, universe, it's your baby. I understand you have something else for me. I understand that I need to evolve. I understand that we need to do the mission. It's the same thing like a soldiers, that's how it goes. Okay, the soldier has to go and win. That's it. Goes in there. Somebody fall behind. You grieve. You have to process the grief. Cannot be not processing the grief. Can't walk within the grief within the new connections. You have to be able to process the grief and let it go of that grief. You're gonna have new experiences that they're gonna be requiring higher level of consciousness and freedom. Okay, and pay attention to your energy management, emotional management in there, managing within yourself within. And it's gonna be some a good thing because you're gonna see how new things are working out. Those things that you thought they're gonna be working with you twin flame, they're gonna be working with this replacement, but there's gonna be some new things that needs to be working out. Okay, so that's one of
That's interesting thing to see how they are really those thoughts that you were having at the very beginning, those downloads that you were having, and those ideas. They will really start manifesting, and they are a little bit different, but you will see the similarities. Like you talked about certain thing with certain person, and then you are actually doing it in 3D. Um, especially that you're doing it consciously. So I think that's a very big difference. But I wanted to say that this is one of the main milestones that we talk about in the journey. Once you can accept this not so pleasant truth, there's just so much expansion that will be going once you accept this reality that's being presented to you, especially when you're getting direct message about which way to go. Like you have to embrace it because you will see that's gonna be leading to way more progress rather than just trying to go around in places. Some people decide not to move on to another people because they are afraid that, oh, what if a twin comes back and all of that. That's a big one. But honestly, anything is better than just staying in a one spot. And just, if anything, like you just have to build yourself this trust that you are always doing the right choices. But at the same time, it really helps to see, again, we are not alone in those journeys. Like we have our guidance, and especially if you choose the spiritual path, this guidance will be around, like even for the sake of maintaining right connections with the right moment with right people. So that really helps to see that as a little bit. Maybe this you mentioned about the, like a mission format, that it's not about your deepest desires and wishes. You cannot have it. This desire is like locked up in a shelf. We gave you a replacement that you can use right now, and you can actually do your mission. But are you ready to go on your own? Because there is this a little bit of sense of, oh, but I'm gonna be leaving someone like from behind. That means that there will be this piece that I'm gonna be going on my own. And I'll say yes, like you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be okay even being alone if that's required. But you see, when I'm speaking, it doesn't come from the space of I hate all the men because there was, oh, so nasty. No, it's like if I have to, I can do on my own, but I can also see that there is certain level of evolution that it's way easier to do when you are in a partnership. And if anything, like that's the proper mindset you should have. You see, not dependent, but also not blocking. Because honestly, like you don't really know what you need in a present moment in terms of or your own evolution. You may have your preferences and you may build your life based on preferences. But if you really want to go according to this like most optimal timeline, you will just be accepting what's coming to you.
those timelines. That sends me back when we were talking about timelines with you. If you remember point A and point B, and all these lines in one straight line, then is another lines in there too. All paths they're leading to the light. Okay. One of the things you have to be more. Um, it is about to choose the present as a present as it is, not as a present which is in your ideas, in your mindset, or in your fantasies. Okay, in there. To it is about to stay grounded. The 5D energies to ground them within yourself. That will be put you in that state of evolutions. Okay, this is a very kind of like a cool graphic to understand the processes. Because me and her, in talking about Paulina, we went to a lot of digging in. Why is this? Why is that? Why does that exist? Why there is a more than a one twin flame? Why is that? And so on. We did a lot of work behind the background, a lot. Okay, and with that experience right now, we're seeing the, the huge benefits of this. Walking and then crossing together through this portal of inner peace. You see, when you get in which is what Mel was saying and Wolf was talking about, this graduate twin flames. You're gonna be graduate school out of twin flames. You're gonna be in this union, okay? But as soon as you're crossing at that, this divine partnership, because that's what it is, you might not realize it at the moment, but this divine partnership, it goes in within the inner peace in there, then the things, it begins to be, you go into a totally new level of journey right there. So the whole point of the divine is bring you the replacement so it can be walking together back into the paradise state, but in a total little different ways that you thought it is. Okay. So you have to process a lot of things when a replacement comes in. Yes, you do. You have a lot of trust to do. You need to trust the universe. A lot of letting go to do. A lot of surrender because you're gonna feel like, oh my God, it's the matrix controlling me. It is about all this, and you're gonna be going through all this. Plenty of scenarios is like what I get myself into it. I had one connection, it's so beautiful, but those don't work and so on. And now I got this another one, and you are going like wow, there's buzzings in there too, and you're gonna have all this. I call it the soup of emotions and energies. Okay, it's kind of like the universe stirs the pot and you have all this boiling stuff and you're like, well, I'm testing this, I'm testing that, but also testing this, and I don't like that. The universe says, well, that is your soup. Okay. um so it's good that you're gonna be don't fear. If you sense any of the fears inside of you, take a look what the fear does to you. It's just giant roadblock that says like I cannot evolve, or I'm afraid of it. What's going to happen if I cross the borders? What's going to happen if I graduate? Did I properly graduate? Maybe I should have graduated with this person instead of this new person. Is the new person is going to be like this? And you're going to have all this right in here, and your psyche is going to go like nuts. And all you have to say is stay focused on the present. Maintain yourself. Use your power as a twin flame to balancing everything. Most of the people don't balancing themselves out. Most of the people don't balancing their own control over the psyche. That's when you have the soul and the spirit in there. That comes in to help you to control over the mind. Now, when you have those two in there within yourself, this is like inside of your own consciousness. It's you, your old connection, and it's the new connection. And then you all three talking in there. And you are the one, where should I go, where should I back? This is kind of like you divorced from your husband, you have a new boyfriend, but inside of you, You're still kind of like a chatting with the ex, and how is the boyfriend's gonna feel like it, and you're processing this kind of like this energies within you. What is right? What is wrong? And so on. And I'm cheating. Oh, you're gonna go. You're gonna be going into this, and I am cheating. This is gonna be a one other thing is like I'm cheating in the soul, I'm cheating in the spirit. And the universe comes to you and says, like, no, you're not cheating. You don't have the connection in the first place. What are you gonna cheat in there? Why you are putting yourself on this cheating mode? You're not cheating. And you're like, but I'm supposed to have this cosmic marriage. I'm supposed to have this divine energy with this person in the universe. And the universe says, like, no, I sent you a replacement because that thing is not working. You're not doing your thing. You don't have your experience. You're supposed to have this experience here. That's what you came for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we are doing. That's what we are raging. But it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
ask this higher level of understanding and awareness to have this because of what is the hierarchy of events. And when I put the hierarchy as events, okay, that is a what kind of events they're calling you for the highest good. And that's what the universe wants. The highest good, because the hierarchy shows up this place. But this is gonna be some I think that there's gonna be some more videos talking about these hierarchies and stuff. I don't
Mm-hmm.
wanna take too much, but you're gonna see the process in there within.
Yeah, but if anything, the only way you can really control is yourself, just sticking to your own values and what you learned about yourself. And like we all have our wish list, so it's okay to go along the wish list if you try to select what's good for you, what it's not. You have to be ready sometimes to things that are not on the wish list, which is okay as well. But if anything, like some people may have doubts, as you were explaining, which one to go, like what is this right person for me? And based on my experience, and maybe you can confirm that at any time I was in those doubts and I decided to make a choice, just choosing me. And I was like, I cannot sacrifice that. If the connection cannot respect that, universe, you take over. And anytime it was happening, especially like in that most recent, like our experience, it was always enhancing the connection, like kind of choosing yourself and your good and putting yourself first. For some people it's a big test, but I believe this is the only way to build those connections, because if you start sacrificing yourself, like what are we even talking about? Like that should be really the fully conscious relationship as we are forming here. It should be without any sacrifice. It's just there will be understandings. Like it's just amazing for me to feel that any times we are going through kind of those tests like this and we choose ourselves, our highest good, the other part just somehow like magically understands, and just the connection grows even stronger. People are afraid that when they choose themselves, the other person would leave. Like, but then you can answer yourself, was that the right person in the first place? If you choose your own good and you try to explain why something is important for you and person doesn't understand, well, do you want to really have this person around? Hopefully also it gives you this maybe a little bit more courage to believe that the right connection will be maintained, because there is this certain threshold that we, or maybe range of vibrational differences, or maybe this like a mismatch that we may have. Like we are not perfectly aligned all the time, but there is this bandwidth, like a buffer. And we can disagree from time to time, but at the core, if we're still interested in maintaining the connection, I believe it's just it can be maintained, and you have a support from those energies in the first place. I think people really have to mess up very strongly for the connection to start dissolving, and it happens too, right? Like after crossing some certain um, boundary, I think maybe with this too much of a low frequencies within the connection, it just kind of falls apart. But in most cases, if we are talking about this advanced connections, as I said, like there is certain buffer that you can be okay for a long time, even if you don't completely feel like you're going through some hardships, and you can still get through that, as long as really like you're communicating clearly and you're choosing yourself, not doubting yourself, not putting yourself away just for the sake of connection. So that's, I think, the last advice I would have, really, to not be afraid to choose yourself and just put yourself on this pedestal that we were talking so many times.
All she said about all the psychologists are kind of like have your personal boundaries and chose you. But here, what she said is in the spirit. You're doing this within the spiritual realms. Through our connections, we understood the proper way of interdependence. So you're coming from the world of codependency, okay, that holding to your twin, hold on this, and now you're getting into this twin flame that says like you gotta have this, you have to not put in your agenda in your to the other person. There's gonna be some times that you need to choose yourself and not worry about it if your person is gonna be, if they're the right person, they will understand you. We are talking about a totally advanced things inside of yourself that you are going to be practicing, that you have not practicing even in the human level. But before you practice in the human level, you have to practice first where? Here. Okay? So with all this advancements and energies as a twin flame, and you practice it in there, you will understand and respect your partners, their me part with them, as they respect you, your part within you. Okay, so this is why this you still have your independent ways, but also you have that interlocking interdependence that it's going to be work in there. And if there is a energies, as Paulina said, there's going to be a buffer that's going to be pull out, push in, pull out. You're going to have a pull and push. There is no way. The pull and push, they have a very perfect purpose for this. Okay, to to show you the level of expansion. How much can you expand and how much can you shrink? And what happens if you don't expand? That is a whole another ball game about with this. But you need to be respectful. You need to be honest. You need to be truthful. And right there, you learning this interdependence relationship. But first, you practice it down where here in the soul and the energies, and then that's gonna have to be manifest in the 3D. But you're gonna be looking at if it's something is now right here, cannot manifest into a 3D. Then you will realize why in the first place that person, the original one, did not came to you. You're gonna find your answers. Okay? They're gonna come to you. But they cannot come until you don't go in a process of evolution. They're not gonna come. You're gonna be required that second thing. And this is what we're talking about, that a lot of it in the soul connections in there, a lot of this codependency shows off, a lot of this immaturity comes off, a lot of this unawareness of that you need to be aware of higher level for higher purpose of these things. That's what begins, because right now we have a lot of gaps. There is a gap currently within the energy, or the people who evolve and the people who are actually stay down at the bottom. This gap is widening, which is in a way this is gonna be a good, because there's gonna be a realizations, because later on all this it's gonna bring it up the way I see it. But you have to see this within you, within yourself, about you, your old connection, as the got that big gap right now of where you're standing at, and then you're gonna see this next level of connections that it's coming, that actually is trying to pull you up into the evolution. and I'm gonna see in there. But I would love Bandita if kind of like keep us in the loop. I would love to kind of like see how that goes in there. But that was a very beautiful questions, very beautiful things, and very good, proper advanced questions. And I love those. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Yeah, and hopefully we explained it. We answered properly that why it cannot. Some of them they cannot manifest in 3D. They will stay in 5D realms because some people are just not able to join you in this interdependence relationship. So that's why some 3D people or expressions of those higher energies are just not able to progress further. So you're gonna be keeping adding the replacement to your journey. But it's as long as you go with this openness, just putting aside this perfectionist because we like to have this perfect vision for ourselves and just really trusting what the universe brings you at the very specific times in your journey. And you can observe anytime that you remove some resistance, there is some certain 3D manifestations always. So for some people who are still in this in between, kind of like a closed mindset, I can suggest, check yourself. Maybe you're really blocking something because you don't want the story to repeat itself. But in order to break those unhealthy cycles, like you have to go through the cycle like one last time, give yourself this chance to just do those things differently. So hopefully that clarifies for some people. And thanks so much for the question again. And I would really encourage other people also to asking, sharing what they are struggling with or what they are happy about. It's always good to see where the community stands at the present moment, just to see how we can also adjust better with what we share here. So thank you very much for everyone that's listening. See you next time. That's from me.
Mm. Thank you, guys. Don't forget about think that everything is individual. There is no kind of like too much of a guidelines in there. But you have to be mindful what the wish person, the universe are. You don't want the universe to comes in and screams at you, okay? But you need to also realizing that you are who you are. You're evolved, awakened soul that wants to have this great experience on earth. Okay, and that's what we're here for, to show that up, to have this, to bring this heaven on earth, guys. All right, that's all I have for here. If you have any questions, please post it as a comment in there. We'll be happy to receive some more suggestions for videos. You are more than welcome here, and you're gonna be recognized for that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.